Hi everybody, this is Peter. I'm going to show you how to play On the Green Golf from Hot Stove Games. It's available through the ASG Games website. If you just go to asggames.com and go to the shop, there's a link to the Hot Stove Games section of the store, and it shows all the games that they produce. I'm not sure how long this one's been in production. I'm fairly new to the golf thing, so I've only been playing it for a couple of years, but I really enjoy the game. Excuse me, it's kind of a sort of a quick play game where you roll usually twice per hole to get a score for a golfer. Sometimes you have to roll three or maybe a fourth time, but it's fairly straightforward. There's also quick play modes where you can play one roll or a couple of rolls to determine a score for the round, or determine the score for 9 holes or 6 holes at a time. And you can mix and match those however you want. I'll just show you the hole cards that come with the game. This is for Colonial Country Club. I ordered the PDF version, so I haven't bothered to cut them up since instead of having them in a stack, I just have them in sheets like this. The upper left there where it says the wind says C and W. I'm assuming C means crosswind. If the prevailing wind is that's what the prevailing wind is for that hole, and if it's the secondary wind, then the W means with the wind. The shot and scoring things are dice roll modifiers. There's 2 phases of scoring on a hole. You roll in the shot phase to determine whether the golfer is on target or they're in trouble, and the scoring roll is where you actually determine whether they get what the score is for the hole. If the golfer rolls in the trouble section of the shot scoring phase, you'll read the trouble section of the hole card, and you would roll a d10 and find out and cross-reference it to what kind of trouble they're in, and it's different for each hole. And that's just one of the things I really like about this game, is that it shows the unique features of the holes. For instance, you see on the 5th hole it says, if 1 to 2 is in the rough, but if you're on the 6th hole, a roll of 2 is you're in the fairway bunker on the left side of the fairway. So it takes into account the unique characters of each hole. And I'll explain the other columns, like for a normal roll. And this is, the dice roll modifiers for this scoring phase, and this is if the player's going to make bogey or worse. You might have to make, that's the dice roll modifier for that roll, that section. And here I'll just show you a couple, what a player's card looks like. This is this is Peter Thompson from the Legend of the Link set that comes with the game, which is 72 male golfers and 36 female golfers of all-time greats. And as you can see, there's the shot-making phase and the scoring numbers. So I'll explain all these when we get to actually playing. And he's also Brien Martin, who's the developer of the game. He's come up with a newer format to the player cards as of 2013, and this is what they look like. And he's working on making the courses in a different format too, the course cards. But for the time being, you can still use the original hole cards with these newer player cards, and he has instructions on how to account for the difference, or account for that. Okay, so what you need to do before you start a round is you have to roll for the weather conditions. Now he's got these weather charts that are available as a free download from that ASG Games website, and we're going to play Colonial, which is in Texas, and I've already rolled, but to see what things. So you roll for what the cloud cover is going to be first. So I rolled, it ended up being sunny, and so and because there's no rain, I didn't have to roll for the rain. and you also roll for the wind. So for this one I rolled a 6, and so it's breezy, and so that will modify the scoring roll and the shot roll and the scoring roll. And online there's somebody has posted some automated score sheets, which are Excel files, and I can post a link to that below the video, where you just plug in the weather conditions, sunny, breezy, and whether the wind is the prevailing wind or the secondary wind for that day, and the kind of rough and the pin placements, whether they're easy, normal, or hard. And then you plug those in, and it does all the calculations for you, and it gives you what the dice roll modifiers are going to be for the shot phase and the scoring phase. And then you can print that out, print out this spreadsheet as your scorecard and use that to score. So as it turns out, because it's sunny and breezy, the dice roll modifiers are actually coincide with what they're shown on the hole cards themselves. So in most cases, some cases they're going to be different, but in this case they're not. So we can just use the modifiers that are on the hole cards for this particular conditions. Okay, so let's get going here. What you do is roll 2d10, or you could roll 3. I usually roll 3 all at once, because in case the golfer's in trouble, you don't have to roll again. You can just refer to that. So let's get going here. We'll have Peter Thompson go first, and the roll is a 33 with a 5. So we look at Thompson's card. First of all, we look at the shot DRM. Oh, I should mention, sorry. The first hole at Colonial is a par 5. Now you can see that it has a what's called a go rating of 5. So that means that the golfer can choose to go for the green, as long as the go rating on the golfer's card match is equal to or greater than the go rating from the hole. So in this case, Thompson has a go rating of 5, and he can choose to go for the green if he wants to. So he's going to. And so for the dice roll modifiers, you would use the number that's after the slash. So in this case, you're going to be adding 17 to the dice roll to find out if he's successful in going for the green. So the right dice roll is 33, and we add 17, that's 50. And so we look on Thompson's shot making section, and his on target range is 1 to 63, so he's within his on target range. So that means that for the scoring phase, we're going to be looking at the go column, because he did go for the green. Arnold Palmer doesn't have a high enough go rating, so he's just going to be a regular playing the hole regularly. So we'll go through that. Okay, so so for the scoring phase, the modifier for going for the green on this hole is minus 17. So the roll is a 13, and and we add we subtract 17 to get I guess 1. It can't be no lower than 1. Now you would think that he would get an eagle on this hole, but the bold and underlined parts on the player cards means that in order to get an eagle when he goes for the green, the original dice roll has to be from 1 to 5. So since the dice roll is 13, and the modifier goes down to below 0 or close to 0, then he scores a birdie on the hole. Okay. So then now we're going to roll for Arnold Palmer, and he rolls a 41. Whoops. And the third roll was a 7, but I don't think we have to worry about that. So the dice roll modifier for not going for the green is minus 27. So the adjusted shot roll is 14, and that's well within Arnold Palmer's on target rating. So for him, we're going to be looking at the on column in the scoring phase. Okay, so and the modifier for the for not going for the green is again minus 27. The roll is an 88, so that means it's a 61, and so he scores a par. So Peter Thompson scored a birdie, went for the green, scored a birdie, and Palmer scored a par. Okay, now we go to the second hole. Now the second hole, this is another feature that some of the holes have. You'll see the word tee on the hole, and that means there's a couple of different options for how to play the hole. And in the white section below the table, the numbers, it tells you what the tee means. So the choice to play left to right or over the tall tree in the dogleg. So sometimes you can take a look at the trouble columns, because it depends. If you go tee, and you get in trouble, then you might get into different kind of trouble depending on your dice roll than if you did not use the tee option. For instance, you're less likely to hit into the rough if you go with the tee option than if you just go normally, for instance. And the tall tree and the dogleg comes into play if you go for the tee. So that's some things you might want to consider. So I'll have we'll do one of each for these golfers. So I'll have Peter Thompson use the tee option, and again, it's you use the number after the slash for the dice roll modifier. So we're going to be adding 4 to Thompson's shot roll. So he rolls a 46 with a 9. So the dice roll modifier is plus 4 for tee. So that's 50. So that's within Thompson's shot making on target range. So he's on target. And the right modifier for the scoring phase is minus 19. The roll is a 32, so it's a 13. And we look in the on column, I believe. So, and the result is a 13, so he's made a birdie. Okay, so Arnold Palmer is just going to go just do a regular play of this hole, and the roll is a 93, and minus 6 is the shot dice roll modifier, or DRM, and so that's an 87, and that means that Arnold Palmer's in trouble because his range is 75 for on target. So the third die, that's why I rolled the third die. So the third die roll is a 3. So we look on the hole card, and 3 means he's in the rough. So we look over at the scoring column in the trouble section, and it just says R with brackets. And there's a quick reference chart that comes with this, and that just means that the ball is in the rough, and so we make a scoring roll using the rough dice roll modifier in play for the round, and then we use the trouble column unless otherwise instructed. So the rough adjustment actually is, I believe it's plus 5, because we're playing with club rough. So I think championship is plus 10 and major is plus 15 or something like that. I don't remember what they are offhand, but okay. So we're going to do the scoring roll for Palmer, and for a regular play, it's we're going to subtract 9, but we're going to add 5 to that. So the net result is we're going to subtract 4 from this dice roll. So it's a 75. So we look in the trouble column, and he just misses making a par. So he's made a bogey or worse. So because we've rolled in the bogey range, we have to roll another time to find out if he's made bogey, double bogey, or triple bogey. Back on the hole card in the trouble section, there's a BG column, and sometimes it'll show an adjustment to this roll that's coming up. In this case, there's no adjustment to the roll. And so the roll is an 80, and so Palmer has made a bogey on the hole. Okay, I'll just play one more hole just to show you, and this one's just a regular hole. no tee or go for the green. It's just a regular par 4, 467 yards. So Thompson's away. We roll a 44, and the shot modifier is +1, so it's a 45. It's on target. And the scoring adjustment is +6, so it's 54, and that's a 60, and Thompson makes a par. Okay, Palmer rolls a 66, and his +1 is 67, but his on target range is 1 to 75, so he's on target. And then we roll a 00, and that means he's made a par when he's on. So just a quick little note here. You might have noticed on the golfer cards there's a suspense thing up in the shot making section. 00. So if you roll a 00 in the shot making phase, you go to the suspense card, which is basically a sort of rare events. For instance, there's one here that says, caddy discovers too late that the golfer is carrying too many clubs. Golfer is assessed a 1-stroke penalty when the error is discovered. So, yeah, so that's it. I just wanted to show you, maybe play through a hole with one of the newer golfer cards. Brien started doing this, I believe, with the 2013 PGA Tour set. It's a little bit different. You can see the go rating here. The go rating is a little different. That represents the number of times that the player can go for a green on holes with that you can go for the green on. And if you decide to try doing that, then you would roll the 2d10, and if the range is within the go chance, then the golfer has gone for the green, and then you would use the go column in the scoring phase. If the number here up in the top right, that represents their on-target range in the shot-making phase. So any rolls of modified rolls of 68 or lower, then Jimmy Walker is on target. Otherwise, he's in trouble. So if he gets in trouble, then you would check the trouble chart on the hole card to find out what kind of trouble it is, and find out what the dice roll modifier is going to be. Excuse me. And then you're going to roll on this trouble save range, and you would use the dice roll modifiers for the scoring phase plus any dice roll modifiers from the trouble section. And if you roll within this range, then the golfer has saved par. Otherwise, they've made something above par. And if that's the case, then you would go to the trouble section here on the scoring phase, and you would roll to see whether they get bogey, double bogey, or triple bogey. As I said before, when you buy the newer sets, Brien includes the instructions on how to use these cards with the original hole cards, and he's working on updating all the course cards for On the Green version 2, which is this is September 2015. That has yet to be released, but hopefully it'll be soon. So, like I said, this is a fun game. I like the fact that the trouble things are unique for each hole. It takes into account the different characters of the hole, and so it requires some strategy options on whether to go for the green, or whether to use these alternate ways, like on that the second hole there with the tee option, it's called, and so there's a bit of strategy involved, and it plays fairly quickly once you get the hang of it. So I'd highly recommend this game. He has various seasons available. I think he has seasons available starting in the 1950s and up into the 60s and 70s, and then he's got like 1980, 2000, and I think he's got every PGA season from about 2005 onwards. He also has some LPGA golfer sets from about starting in the 2000s sometime, and he even has some European tour sets and senior tour sets. So yeah, like I said, it's an enjoyable game, and if you have any questions, I'll leave you my contact information, and you can send me an email. Okay, thank you.